guys, Liz Stapleton here, your host of the Blogger Breakthrough Summit, and this is the Blogger Breakthrough Summit podcast, where we share tips and tricks from our amazing summit session speakers, and every now and then dive into some stuff that wasn't covered in the summit, and that is what we're doing in today's episode. Today I'm going to be sharing a handful of strategies to help you save time so that you can blog consistently. So the first one I'm going to do is have a blogging system, know what each steps are for your blog. And I use ClickUp. I recommend it. I have a whole blog post on ClickUp. I will link to it in the show notes. But my process for writing a post usually looks something along the lines of, brainstorm some blog post ideas, do some keyword research. Once I've figured out the topic of a post, I'm going to create a rough outline. I'm going to write the intro and conclusion, draft the post, edit it, load it into WordPress, and then I've got to create the graphics, craft the meta description and the pin description, select the post category, edit the permalink, link to any other relevant posts on the site, and then schedule the post to publish, right? So that's actually quite a lot, and it's easy to miss steps if you don't have a system in place. So have a system in place. It'll help you to stay consistent. It'll also make it easier to batch things. So maybe you're going to create the graphics for all of your posts for the month in one sitting, and because you have a plan and a system, you can do that. All right, the next tip I'm going to give you is schedule brainstorming. So there's nothing worse than having to sit down at a computer and not knowing what you're supposed to do or what you're supposed to write for your blog. So if you regularly take time to brainstorm ideas and things you want to do for your business, and it doesn't have to be hours and hours. It could be like 30 minutes every Friday afternoon when you're already tired and just kind of want to think. Give yourself thinking time. Okay. The next strategy I want to share is make sure you're using an editorial calendar to plan ahead. And that really goes hand in hand with having a system for your blog and posting. Again, I cannot recommend ClickUp enough. It is, I think, the perfect tool for bloggers. Definitely check out my post on how to use ClickUp for bloggers, but it's fantastic. Another way to save time, I've got two more ways for you, is to update old content. And this applies particularly if you've got a permalink structure that does not include the date. If it includes the date, this is a little trickier. But you've become a better blogger since you've published your first few posts. So you can go back and update those and make them even better and republish them. And it's going to show up as a new post on your site. And guys, as much as we don't want to hear this, people don't go on our sites and read every single post. They don't. And so a lot of times that older content will be new to a good portion of your audience. And then the last thing, a tip I want to give you to stay consistent with your blog posts and creating your blog is using templates. Templates are great time savers. And you probably only write a few different kinds of posts overall, right? You could be doing a review, a roundup, a listicle, maybe a how-to, and promotional posts. That's a handful of the types of posts. Kind of have a little rough template or outline of what each of those posts is going to look like and what items you're going to need there. Do you need to create a table? Do you need to create specific kind of images? If you're doing reviews, are you reviewing it against another product? What kind of stuff does that involve? So just keep that in mind. And those are my handful of tips. And if you want some more, I've got a blog post that actually covers a total of 17 tips to save time so that you can blog consistently. And it includes the ones we've covered, but you can get, 12 more by checking out that post. So hopefully you find that helpful. If you do, comment, subscribe to the podcast, and I will catch you next time where I'm going to talk about how to come up with blog post ideas. I'll catch you then.